Every single week, I get the same phone call: New Jersey, Brooklyn, Long Island, Staten Island, and sometimes Queens. And they all start the same way: Evie, I can't do this anymore. They're not broke, they're not struggling, they're just tired. Tired of paying $3,500 a month for 900 square feet. Tired of property taxes that feel like a second mortgage. Tired of grinding just to stay in place. And here's the thing: they're not wrong. And if you're still sitting up there thinking, maybe next year, you might be watching your window close. I'm about to break down exactly why the Northeast to Charlotte pipeline is stronger than ever. The real numbers, the lifestyle shift, and the stuff that nobody tells you until you're already here. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you the one thing I wish someone had told me before I made this move 16 years ago, because I didn't just study this trend, I lived it. Now let's get into it. I'm Evie DeJesus, Charlotte Realtor with eXp Realty. I work with first-time homebuyers, relocation clients, and new construction. And a huge chunk of my clients are coming from exactly where I came from. Brooklyn born, raised in New York, moved to Charlotte 16 years ago, pregnant, terrified, and determined to give my kids something different. So when I tell you I understand this decision, I'm not reading a script. I lived every part of it. Now, let me show you what's actually happening. Let's start with facts, because this isn't a vibe. It's a documented movement. North Carolina just ranked number 3 in the entire country for net domestic migration. That means more people are moving in than moving out, and it's not even close. Charlotte alone pulled in over 163,000 people last year. That's nearly a quarter of everyone who moved to North Carolina, period. And where are they coming from? Florida, Virginia, California, but the Northeast pipeline, that's a whole different beast. You got New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania are consistently in the top 10 states sending people here to Charlotte. New York alone has lost over 200,000 residents since 2020, and a big chunk of those people landed right here in Charlotte. You feel that? That's not a trend. That's a shift. And here's the part that should make you nervous if you're still on the fence. Gen X and millennials make up almost 75% of those movers. These aren't retirees looking for a front porch. These are professionals in their prime making a calculated decision. So the question isn't, is this real? The question is, are you going to move now or compete with everyone else who waited? Now let's talk about the part that really matters: the money. Living in Charlotte is roughly 40% cheaper than living in New York City. That's not a typo. That's your life back. So let me break it down for you. Median home price in New York Metro right now is over $500,000, and that's being generous depending on the borough. Now in Charlotte, median home price is around $415,000, and for that price, you're not getting a 2-bedroom apartment with no parking. You're getting a house with a yard and probably a garage you didn't even know you wanted. But it's not just a sticker price, it's everything else. Property taxes in New York average around 1.26%. In North Carolina, that's 0.78%. So on a $400,000 home, that's a difference of almost $2,000 a year every single year. Now, state income tax, New York can hit you anywhere from 4 to over 10%, depending on your bracket. North Carolina, flat 3.99%. No local income tax, no city tax eating your paycheck. And groceries, utilities, gas, all lower. Not dramatically, but enough that when you add it all up, you actually feel it. Here's what one of my clients told me after their first year here in Charlotte. Evie, I'm not making any more money. I just get to keep more of it. And that's real math. All right, but what about work? Because nobody's moving somewhere without knowing they can earn. Charlotte is the second largest banking center in the entire United States. Bank of America is headquartered here. Wells Fargo and Truist Bank have massive operations here as well. We're talking over 82,000 people working in the financial services in this region alone. But it's not just banking. Fintech is also exploding. Companies like LendingTree, AvidXchange, and even Coinbase just opened a 150-person operation here in Charlotte. Why? Because they said, and I quote, There's an incredible intersection of financial services and technology talent in the greater Charlotte area. Now, healthcare, over 137,000 people work in healthcare. Atrium Health, Novant Health, major systems with major hiring. And tech, over 45,000 tech workers across companies like Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, Rev Ventures, and it keeps growing. Fortune 500 companies headquartered in this region include Bank of America, Lowe's, Duke Energy, Honeywell, and Truist. That's not a small town economy. That's a major metro with serious career infrastructure. And here's the part people forget. Remote work changed the game. If your company lets you work from anywhere, why are you paying New York rent? Bring that New York salary down here and watch what happens to your quality of life. Now, let me talk about something harder to measure, but impossible to ignore. How it feels. See, I came from Brooklyn, New York. I know the energy. I know the place. I know what it's like to feel like you're always behind, always chasing, always one emergency away from chaos. Charlotte gave me something I didn't know I needed. Space. Space to breathe, space to think, space for my kids to run without me panicking about traffic. And the weather? We get all 4 seasons, but winter here is a suggestion, not a sentence. So you're not shoveling snow for 5 months. You're grilling in March. The pace is different. Not slow, just sane. You can get across town in about 25-30 minutes. You can own a home with a yard and still be about 20 minutes from uptown. You can live in a place where people actually say good morning and they mean it. And the food scene, the breweries, the culture, Charlotte's not the city it was 10 years ago. Noda, South End, Plaza Midwood, there's energy there. It's just not trying to crush you. Now, is it New York? Not at all. And it's not trying to be. But here's the question I want you to ask yourself. What kind of life do you actually want to live? Because if the answer is, I want to own something, build something, and stop feeling like I'm running on a treadmill, Charlotte might be exactly what you're looking for. All right, let me keep it real for a quick second, because I'm not here to sell you a fantasy. I'm here to prepare you. Here's what surprises people when they get here. First, you need a car. Charlotte is not a subway city. Public transportation does exist, but it is not how most people move. So if you're used to walking everywhere and hopping on the train, that's an adjustment. So please plan for it. Second, summer is hot, like humid hot. July and August will test you. But honestly, after 34 winters in New York, I'll take the heat. Third, it takes time to build community. You're not going to bump into your neighbor at the bodega every day. You have to be intentional. So join things, show up. It happens. It just doesn't happen automatically. Fourth, it's a big city that still feels like a small town sometimes. Depending on where you're coming from, that can feel like a relief or a culture shock. Know which one you are before you move here. But here's the flip side. People who make the move and commit, they don't go back. They build roots. They build wealth. They build a life that actually fits them instead of one that just tolerates them. Let me tell you why I'm still here 16 years later. I came to Charlotte pregnant, exhausted, and honestly scared. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a plan. Shame on me. I knew I couldn't build the life I wanted for my kids if I stayed in New York. That's real talk. And those first few years, they were hell. They were not easy. They were lonely seasons, moments where I questioned every single thing. Chapters that forced me to start over more than once. But Charlotte gave me something New York never could. Room to become the woman I actually wanted to be. I built my faith here. I built my business here. I watched my boys grow into men here. And now I get to help families do the same thing I did. Land somewhere soft, avoid the mistakes I made, and build something real. I'm not just a realtor who helps people move here. I'm someone who understands what it takes to start over because I did it. Now, let me be honest. Charlotte is not for everyone. If you need the constant buzz of Manhattan, the 24-hour energy, the endless options at 2 a.m., this might feel too quiet. If you're not ready to drive, This will frustrate you. If you're expecting the city to come to you instead of going out and building your circle, you will feel isolated. But if you're ready for a slower pace that still has opportunity, if you actually want to own something instead of renting forever, if you're tired of trading your whole paycheck just to survive like I did, then Charlotte might be the move for you. If you're sitting up in New Jersey or New York right now and this video hit a little too close to home, here's what I want you to do. Click the link in the description and book a free relocation call with me. I'll tell you what neighborhoods fit your lifestyle, what your budget actually gets you here, and how to start this process without wasting time or money. I made the move. I've helped many families make it here, and I'd be honored to help you do the same. My number is on the screen and in the description. Make sure you call or text, and if you speak Spanish, I can also help you. Now subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And if you happen to know someone back home who needs to see this, send it to them right now. It might be the push they've been waiting for. I'll see you in my next video.